Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and now heard on hamiltonradio.net, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and a few networks coming near you. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also cool merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, also phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com for the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do it today. We're here with a terrific gentleman from the New England area who's known as the Wizard of Stars for the ability to impersonate thousands of celebrity voices. We can hear some of those from the master himself. He's hosted several TV and radio credits as well, too, including Bozo the Clown for the Fox affiliate in the New England area. Also hosts his own variety show and performed with Bruce Springsteen and John Lennon impersonator, and he does a great job of those. And he's got 2 wonderful children. His son, Randy, nicknamed Bubba, was a Division I college punter, and his daughter, Renee, is a country singer-songwriter who will be making her debut. And he also wrote a children's book called Charlie Horse. We'll talk about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in the beautiful downtown New England area, the Wizard of Stars and the ultimate celebrity impersonator. And what voice is going to come out? Ladies and gentlemen, they're very multi-talented. Gary Leavitt. Gary, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Mike, thanks for having me. I am very, very pleased to be on with such a great talent as yourself.
Well, actually, you're pretty much a great talent yourself. You're like the number one in New England as well, too. You're the Wizard of Stars for the ability to impersonate thousands of celebrity voices. We got to hear some of those, and hosted several TV and radio credits, including Bozo the Clown in New England's Fox affiliate. And also you host your own variety show, and you also performed as Bruce Springsteen and John Lennon impersonator. You have 2 wonderful children. You've got Randy, you call Bubba, who is a Division I college punter, and your lovely daughter, Renee, is an up-and-coming country singer-songwriter. You also wrote a children's book. And before getting to all that, Gary, tell us how you first got started.
Actually, believe it or not, Mike, I was in the 3rd grade of school living in Portland, Maine, and I used to go into the teachers' rooms at lunchtime, and I would impersonate different celebrities, and I was always just attracted to people that perform. I love the spotlight, and back in about 1968, 69, thereabouts, I'm in those said teachers' rooms in Portland at the old Hull Elementary School, impersonating the likes of Dean Martin, Jimmy Stewart, and John Wayne, believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness. And I want to hear those guys, too. And I'm sure, let's say I'm a teacher. I think they got to be impressed. You like, you got to get up there like John Wayne. Like,
Exactly. In fact, when I have a cold, my John Wayne is spot on, but yours is really good. I have to say that.
Well,
I really do.
I like yours better as well, too. I mean, you're the Wizard of Stars in the New England area. For me, it's just like, I'm just another person in Bismarck, North Dakota.
I don't know. I think I'd rather live out there, to be honest with you.
But of course, you got your sport teams as well too. You love the Patriots, you love the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, and everything else. Your clam chowder and all that. It's like, boy, sometimes I wish I was there, but taking it all in. But of course, that's the nice part about the United States. You get to enjoy just about everything, and of course, each person is a celebrity and get to enjoy every single one. So, continue on with you being the third grade and just working your way up and everything else. And not just three celebrity voices, but you just creeping up into the thousands and thousands and thousands as well. So,
Yeah, it's funny, Mike, and people say, oh, you're exaggerating. But what it is with my voice ability, for whatever reason, as you get older, the voices tend to not be as good. And hence, one of the greatest voice guys of all time, Rich Little. Rich, when he was younger, was fantastic. But as he grew older, the voices all kind of sounded alike.
mm-hmm.
And not taking anything away from him, because he's a fantastic talent. But he, John Biner, and Frank Gorshin were three of the different impersonators that actually inspired me to get into doing impressions.
Wow.
And so I actually had the opportunity within the past year and a half to interview Rich Little on my radio show up here in Boston.
Nice.
And he's very good at what he does. And the voices that he was at best at, he's still fantastic with. But then again, I thought my voices would start to sound alike as I got older. And I found something called apple cider vinegar. That's my secret.
Apple cider vinegar. That's my wife's favorite tonic. It is so amazing. Yes.
It is. And what it's done is it clears things out. So my voices are that much better. And
wow.
I know you're going to say it's a little crazy, but truth be told, I think it's enhanced my voices quite a bit. I've been doing it for 5 years now. And I'm 61 now, and I'd say from the age of 55 onward, the voices are getting better.
And definitely gets better with age too. And the another person there, which I think of, is Mel Blanc. And my son Sean sent me a clip of him on the Tonight Show, and with him and his actual speaking voice. Yeah, that is my speaking voice. Is that really you? Yeah, it is my speaking voice. You're not Bugs Bunny? Yeah, it is my speaking voice. And he was just really just stressing Johnny Carson out. It was so hilarious. I mean, where you see here Mel Blanc with 1,000 voices. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Fuckatash and all that. Thousands voices. When you hear him just talk normal, it's like, okay, who are you really impersonating? It's like, he really just confuses people. It's like the guy is so bloody talented.
Yeah, Mel Blanc, such a great talent. The Warner Brothers characters, obviously, I do them. Hanna-Barbera as well. A lot of the iconic cartoon characters that are around today, like from The Simpsons, SpongeBob, Family Guy, so on and so forth. I'm doing all those voices. And then you get into the B character voices, like the deputy dogs and things. Some people remember those characters, but the A-list Hollywood actors, the B-list Hollywood actors, the C-list, a lot of the old time TV series. Like, I don't know about you. You and I we're about the same age. I might have you by a couple of years.
It's perfectly okay. I mean, you're more seasoned than I am too. So you got a few years ahead of you. Go right ahead.
but I love the TV shows of the 60s, like Hogan's Heroes,
mm-hmm.
like Green Acres, like Andy Griffith. And then you get into the 70s with All in the Family. In the addition to All in the Family, I love the TV show Barney Miller, the 80s with Taxi and Cheers, the 90s with Seinfeld. And then, it's kind of funny, Mike. I really think today, as far as comedy goes, the best cartoon comedy is also the best sitcom comedy today, and that's Family Guy. It's a little bit racy.
It is.
They offend a lot of people, but it's funny. It's irrelevant, irreverent, relevant. It does everything. It's cute humor. It's racy humor. They encompass everything. They truly do.
Mm-hmm. And of course, one of the classic cartoons I remember watching is like one of the first ones besides the obvious was Underdog, Tennessee Tuxedo, my favorite. Yeah. Tennessee Tuxedo is my name. And this is my chum Shelby. Pleased to meet you. It's like, I remember just looking forward to getting up in the morning. Yeah. Breakfast with that smart ass penguin. Then at lunchtime, you'll get to watch like the banana splits. And then when you come home, it'd be like Batman. So it's like everything just mixes up. It's like wherever we live, Milwaukee, Racine, Chicago, even visit relatives in Madison, or like say go out to Rockford or something. It's like they always rotate in cartoons and everything. It's like you look for it no matter what. So
yeah. Oh yeah, it is. And for me, over the years, mixing up the voices and depending on the audience, because if you have an older audience, they want the older actors. If you have a younger audience, you have the younger. In a day's time, when I played the part of Bozo the Clown and I was doing radio, and then I was doing the nightclub comedy scene. Basically, the early Friday morning would be with a radio crowd that is geared towards mostly a guy audience. And some of the humor would be, I wouldn't call it racy, but it was edgy, and it stepped up to the line without stepping over the line, utilizing the voices. Of course, when I'm doing Bozo, that's geared to all kids, young kids, and that's a different audience. And it's the knock jokes, which is fun because you see kids smiling. And then when we got to the nighttime, again, it goes back to being edgy. And as you know, Mike, if you're a true pro and you know what you're doing, you can switch on the fly and you never make a mistake. It's not like, oh, this is that audience. I accidentally did this kind of humor for that audience. No, it doesn't happen. It's like an actor. An actor goes in, he plays a role. He's a tough guy. He has some dirty lines in one movie. And the next time he's squeaky clean. That's pretty much how it is.
That reminds me of Buddy Hackett too. Back in the day, it's like when I was growing up watching Buddy Hackett, I remember him in being in Herbie the Love Bug, and I found out that he does all the Las Vegas comedy shows with his X-rated humor. Then he was in a few other movies. It's a mad world. It's like I thought Buddy Hackett's doing that, but yeah, it's like, the ones that are the most versatile, the ones most successful, and the modern day version of Buddy Hackett. But unfortunately, he passed away too soon. Was Bob Saget, and Bob Saget, basically you know him from
Full House.
Full House, yes, and then also he does his racy act as well too. You smoke up and everything, and then also did some other sitcoms as well too. But the more flexible you are, it's like the more successful you become. So I mean, that's what it takes.
Certainly does. So I will definitely do some voices if you want to throw. Well, would you like me to run through the gamut here a little bit? It's up to you.
Absolutely. You know what? I've got a few in mind. We'll do that in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even been endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today of Virgo's Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries. Also on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few other networks coming near you. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, cool merchandise, and more. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the terrific Gary Leavitt, the Wizard of Stars, for the ability to impersonate thousands of voices here on the Mike Wagner Show. Also hosted several and TV radio shows as well, too, including a very popular show in New England. Is also Bozo the Clown. And and speaking of Bozo the Clown, let's go and hear your excellent Bozo. We're going to spin the wheel of voices here. It's all
You got it. So a little Bozo for your listeners here or your viewers.
Well, howdy, pals. It's your old pal Bozo. And just remember what your old pal Bozo always says. Just keep laughing. I'll see you around like a donut.
Hey, I could probably think of some as well too, like with the Simpsons as well too. You could also do a thing on Homer Simpson as well too. Let's say you just get out of the power plant somewhere in New Jersey as well too, and you accidentally hit that red button while eating a donut.
Oh, take it, Homer Simpson, and donut. Go.
Hey, oh boy, it's Krusty the Clown. Smithers, who is it, William Pillow?
James Burns, that's Homer Simpson. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't.
Homer, not in front of the kids.
Yes, Homer Simpson. He's the worst worker I've ever had here at the Quickie Mart. Come again.
Oh, I think I'm ready to go to Quickie Mart after this one. I got to have a refill on a Quickie Mart. Oh, and okay, let's go with some of the voices as well too. How about Woody Woodpecker, that little smart ass bird either you love or you just want to just take it and just throw him against a tree or something?
Now, I was told you could do that really well, so I wanted to hear you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who told you that? Was it Woody or something? Okay, all right. If this is a contest,
I love it. That's awesome.
guess who? Oh, look at this, a hand sandwich.
And it's funny, you know, that Woody Woodpecker's voice is very similar to this character who's famous today.
Hey, Mr. Crab, how about a Krabby Patty?
Oh, great. It's SpongeBob with his buddy Patrick.
Okay, SpongeBob. Me need me money, boys. Back to work.
My kids love watching SpongeBob. That was so hilarious. I think my kids went out and got those SpongeBob dolls, and I think my daughter got like SpongeBob T-shirts and everything else. It was like everything's all SpongeBob.
Love SpongeBob. Great character. One of the cleanest cartoons out there today, and still very funny.
Oh, just hilarious as well too. And hey, how about Yogi Bear, who loves to steal your food out of picnic?
I'm going to follow your lead, and I'm going to chime in after you do it. So go ahead.
All right. Hey, Yogi Bear, what do you got there, old boo-boo?
Well, gee, Yogi, we got Cindy over here, and
He got this nice picking. Oh, it's a good day picking today, boo-boo. Yay.
That is so good. I'll give you some Warner Brothers. Here we go.
Yeah, what's up, Jack?
Shh. We very quiet. Bring the succotash. I say, boy, pay attention to me now, boy. Oh, 3 or 4. My name is Pete Poomer.
How about Pepe Le Pew? It's just like, I mean, too bad they extinguished him, but you still got to revive the character somehow. I love that one.
You lead, I'll follow. You're the dance leader.
And runs away.
That's very good. Mike, you're very talented, man. I got to tell you that.
Actually, you're the wizard of 1,000 voices as well, too. So it's like, I got to follow you. It's like, I've got big shoes to fill if I'm trying to impersonate your stuff. So,
well, I'll give you some of the A-list Hollywood stars if you don't mind. We'll run the gamut here for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you can imitate some of the A-list stars. And before we do it, how about some of the famous presidents too, like Richard Nixon, although he's not a crook.
Well, I'll tell you what, that tricky dick was really good. It was great. In fact, your dick is huge. It's huge. Now, Mike, I told you before, and I'll tell you again, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Of course, I'm talking about my wife, Hillary.
And what does Hillary have to say about that?
You're lying, man. I'll leave it to you.
Well, Bill, if you think your girlfriend is nice, it's like we can have a threesome or something, right, Nancy? What was that?
Well, next question, please. I can give you, I'll do a little bit of a rap song that I did. I'll clean it up because I don't want to offend your audience. But the years ago, I had come up with the presidential rap, and we started with Obama. But then when Trump came around, and then we added Trump to it, and then there was the Joe Biden. But we'll keep it short and sweet, and it goes all the way back to JFK. But it goes something like this. I'll try not to offend your audience, so to speak.
Go ahead. Don't worry about it. So,
you sure? Okay, here we go. Huge. We're here to do the presidential rap. It goes like this. Hey there, homie. I'm no chump. My name is Donald. It's Donald Trump. Obama's a pussy, and I grab some too. Make America great. That's what I do. Yo, mama. I'm Barack Obama. Here to do the presidential rap. I go to my left. I can't go right. Now, here's my cousin. He'll keep it real tight. What if George W's in the house? No weapons of mass destruction, not even a mouse. Let me be clear, or just plain glib. Bill Clinton
is hanging in his crib. All you single ladies keep on chilling because Bubba Clinton is always willing. I didn't inhale, I promise you. Now here's my bro to tell you a thing or two. Read my lips, cause lips don't lie. I'm Puff Daddy Bush, not a bad guy. Here's someone who's a little bit hipper. Can I get a woo-woo for the gipper? Well, check, baby, 1, 2, 3. I'm run of the GOP. Hey, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Now here's JFK, and he'll finish the call. Yes, I'm JFK, the Grandmaster Rapper. Fresh to the nines, I always look dapper. Republicans, Democrats, and independents too. It's what the presidential rap can do for you.
I'd love to hear that in the next presidential debate or presidential race, especially when Trump and Biden go out for the next debate. Who's going to be the next president? That's going to be pretty good.
And I do have a Biden, but you know what it is with me, Mike? Unless the voice is a 9 or better, I don't like to showcase it because I don't want to put something out there that is less than that. I know there's a lot of impersonators and celebrity impressions that are very, very talented individuals and very good at what they do. But oftentimes I think it's just an opinion. You might agree, you might disagree. But oftentimes the impressionists will put out there the ones that are 6 or 7s when you're rating on a 1 to 10. So if they got 30 voices and 20 of them are really good, and then 10 of them are a 6 to 7, people remember that. So rather being known as a pretty good voice impressionist or a good one, leave out the ones you're not so good at and just focusing on the ones that you're really good at. Just an opinion.
That's rather interesting as well, too. And, I was just thinking about some of the actors as well, too, impersonating. Who are some of your favorite actors, singers, musicians, and comedians growing up? You got a lot of comedians out there, too, especially in the Boston area.
You certainly do. So the greatest late night comedian of all time was a guy who was a king of late night. And of course, his name was it was Johnny Carson. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play a little bit of a game here. It's called Karnak the Magnificent, and it goes something like this: O.J. Simpson, Magic Johnson, and Mike Tyson. O.J. Simpson, Magic Johnson, and Mike Tyson. Name a butcher, a linker, and a license plate maker. Ho, ho, ho. Very good, sir. May you come between Rosie and a pastrami sandwich.
Oh, that's too funny. Too funny. Of course, you got the sidekick, Ed McMahon. Oh, Johnny, also funny. Oh, hi-oh.
And a funny story, Mike, I met Ed McMahon over at the Epcot Center when I was on my honeymoon with my wife. I happened to be in the men's room. I was using the urinal. This guy pulls up alongside of me in the other urinal, and he's going to the bathroom, and someone's talking to him. And I go, I'm not looking, because obviously you don't go looking at the other urinals. So I'm listening to this guy talking. I go, that's Ed McMahon. And I go, yeah, you're Ed McMahon. And he goes, you are correct, sir. It was pretty funny. And so after we washed our hands and we went outside, my wife took our picture. So I still have that picture of Ed McMahon with me back in 1992.
Wow.
Long time ago.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're glad Ed McMahon wasn't pissed over that one. So
yes, that's right. He was a real whiz.
Oh. another one of the late nights I love watching was Jay Leno back in the days. He goes, yeah, I'd like to drive the Harley Davidson, and I got a late night guest too, and I got my Firebird as well too. So
see, you know what, Mike, you're right there with me, man. There's no difference between you. The Jay Leno, he's got the high pitched, excited voice, and I talked to him several times because there's a couple of people up here in Boston that I only met him once, so it's not like we're friends or anything like that, but they introduced us. But the first time I talked to him on the phone, I didn't even know it was him. He was reviewing my demo tape, true story. And I was at work, and he called up. He goes, hi, this is Gary Leavitt. And I go, yes. He says, this is Jay Leno. And I was looking over your videotape, and it's pretty good, but I think
There's some things you should take out and other things you put in. So it's more, so it's more refined. And I think and of course he did voiceover work too. He did the Crimson Chin on Jimmy Neutron or one of those cartoons.
Oh, yes.
That's Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, that Jimmy Neutron. And I think there was another one too. I had a guest on in my early days of the Mike Wagner show, Eddie Deason, and he was that smart aleck kid, that Mr. Know-It-All. It was on the Polar Express. He was that crazy scientist. And it was on oh gosh, what was that name of it? It was
Fairly Odd Parents, right?
No. This is one. This is that crazy science cartoon. It was on the Cartoon Network. I can't think of the name of it. Oh my gosh, not Robo Chicken.
Wasn't Clyde Crashcoff, was it? Do you remember that? Or is that going too far back?
No, that wasn't it. I was just trying to think. It was around Cartoon Network, things like let's see, my kids were born 95, 97, 2000, 2004. It was somewhere along those lines. I think that was like the advent of the Powerpuff Girls, and I think you had Dexter's Laboratory. That's the name of it.
That's right. Jeez, I'm sorry for not getting that.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I mean, once in a while, it's like we have our brain farts or our blackout moments, whatever it is. It's very common for us as well too. So
it is.
And of course, we're not the only ones that get them too. It's like I've seen people that get like several as well too. But yeah, it's like it just made me think of it. It's like he was a really good guy. He goes, yeah, that's what we got here. I know that part. Like that. So
nice.
Oh, just one of the best. And of course too, that we'll also talk about your you got two wonderful children too. By the way, we got your daughter Renee, you got your son Randy. We'll talk about it in just 1 minute. You also an author of a great book. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the amazing Wizard of Stars, Gary Leavitt, after this time up. We're back with the amazing impersonator and Wizard of the Stars, Gary Leavitt from the New England area here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we got to hear a bunch of voices as well, too, and maybe a couple more before I wrap up and have to extend as well, too. You got two great children. You got your son, Randy, who we call Bubba. He was a Division I college punter, and your daughter, Renee, who's an up-and-coming country singer as well, too. And, tell us about your wonderful children, especially your son being a Division I college punter.
That's right. He was at Bridgeton Academy in Maine this past year. He's now Division I punter for Stonehill. And as we speak, he is at a punting or kicking academy in Birmingham, Alabama. He's down there with other Division I punters from across the country. There's some XFL punters, guys that are playing in the brand new Dwayne The Rock Johnson League. And I believe there's some NFL kickers and punters that will be at this camp as the summer progresses. But it's pretty cool. He's down there doing his thing. And the best thing to say about my son is he's so focused on becoming the best that he can possibly be. He measures everything that he eats. He's religiously in the weight room and working out 7 days a week. He's on the fields. I retrieve his footballs in the middle of the winter. It could be 0 degrees out and we'll be out there in a driving snowstorm. He goes, Dad, can you feel my punch? And I go, yep. I got about a half hour before I freeze my butt off, but let's go. And so he's that type of kid that where most kids are out partying on a Friday night or doing whatever they're doing on a Friday night. He's in a gym working out. He's studying the best players that ever played the game. And he's just focused. He's one of the most focused individuals I've ever met. He gets on my case when I'm not eating right. He measures, and this is so cool, Mike. He measures every single thing that he eats. And that's why he's gone from being the chubby little kid about 2 or 3 years ago to being built like Chris Evans, Captain America. If you look at it, that's Captain America.
Oh my gosh, yes, and that was a heck of a movie as well too, and all the Marvel comics as well too, the movies and everything. Oh my God, that guy's like so built, unbelievable.
He is.
Making me think of punters as well too. I think of the great punters in the NFL. You had Ray Guy, and then you had Gary Roby from the Dolphins. You also had John Jett from the Dallas Cowboys, and then you had the Craig Colquitt and his two sons, and they play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think there was Oh gosh, I think there's like a couple other punters, but those are the ones that really stand out in my mind. I mean, Ray Guy started making the mark, and then you had quite a few others that just go along the way. So I would love to see him get up there along the lines like Ray Guy, John Jett, the Colquitts, and everything else too. It's like,
You
oh my
you
gosh.
mentioned you mentioned some great ones, Mike, and it's funny you mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but even though we live in New England, we're Pittsburgh Steeler fans,
Oh,
and
amazing. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
and we talked about that recently. He says if I'm fortunate enough to play in the NFL someday, and I truly think he will, because he's doing all the right things. But he says, "What happens if I play for the Patriots? Do we still root for the Steelers?" I said, "I said, well, you know what? You root for the team you're on first, and then the Steelers can be your second favorite team. That's how it would work. And who knows? Maybe you end up wearing the black and gold someday, which would be terrific."
I was just thinking about with the son too. If he were to play for the Patriots and the way Belichick keeps coaching, getting him into playoffs, the Super Bowl every time, it's like he almost like could get a couple of Super Bowl rings the way it's going too, and then he can retire with the Steelers. Just be casual. And if he gets picked
There
up by
you
another
go.
team, hey, that's great. So,
I,
I mean,
I
we need more punters like him. To be honest with you, we really do in the NFL.
Well, here's the thing with my son, and I know that whoever's watching today that understands punters in the NFL, there's been this really fascination with Australian punters,
Mm,
which is rugby style punting, where they run to the side and they punt it. It gives the opportunity for their players to get more time to get downfield, or it's a misdirectional punt. But my son is American style punter, traditional style punter. However, he was asked on one of his videos to try the Australian style. So he's punting these things well into the 50s on the distance, well into 5 second time for the hang time. And then they said, okay, let's see the Australian style. Now he had never done it before, and he starts nailing these punts.
wow.
And it's kind of funny because the Australian guys are averaging typically anywhere between 35 and maybe 42, 43 yards per punt.
Hmm.
And son's like 49, 50 yards on the Australian style punt. So he's an athlete. He can throw, he can catch. And obviously, people are going to say you're biased, you're the dad. And in most cases, I'd say, yeah, that would be. But I had the opportunity myself to play sports and coach sports at the collegiate level. And I've assessed talent on an honest way. Me as a runner, I said I was a pretty good runner, and I could win some races when the real good guys didn't show up.
Hmm.
But if pretty good guys, I had a shot at winning. My son, he's a superior athlete to anything that I was when I was younger. It's not even close. We go into a weight room and he embarrasses me.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, when he gets to the NFL one day, and whoever he plays for, make sure we get tickets to the 50-yard line. We can watch him punt.
Well, you say what your favorite team is, and no matter who he plays with or for, maybe it is that team. But whenever that team happens to be in your stadium, that's going to happen, Mike.
That's where we'll make it happen as well, too. Of course, so we're close to Minnesota Vikings, but I've been a Green Bay Packer fan for God knows how long, being born in Wisconsin. And of course, my adopted team's the Denver Broncos. It's in the western half of the state. So we got all that. He's got choice of any 32 teams as well, too. Of course, got the XFL, got the arena ball and everything like that. So I'd like to wish your son the best of luck. He sounds like an amazing punter. You also have a terrific daughter, Renee, too, who's an up and coming country singer songwriter as well, too. So looking forward
Yeah,
to her, what she's got. Yes.
she's doing really well. She's been singing, believe it or not, since she was 3 years old. I had an old truck, which was just a one-row truck where the old children's seat had to be in the front because we didn't have a back row.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd sit in that seat with me, and we'd be driving down the highway, and we would be singing Beatles tunes. And
Wow.
the funny thing is, when I'm listening to her, I had to turn the music down on the radio, and I'm saying, she can actually sing. I can't sing. I can impersonate, but I can't sing. So anyway, she's doing a good job. And as the years progressed, she entered different competitions here up in the greater Boston area. She won a couple. She didn't win a couple, but she stayed with it. And then she started writing. She
Nice.
started writing country tunes at the age of 13. She's collaborated with guys from Nashville. The guys from Nashville, one of them was Grammy nominated.
Wow.
And she kept writing and writing, and her voice developed. And it's to the point where from 13 to about 22, the voice got better and better, but it was never to the point where you say, wow, this girl's got a good voice.
it was always, like I had said, with my sports, it was pretty good, but it was never great.
Amazing.
She's on the cusp of it being great. Not quite there, but the thing with Renee is she can write, she can sing. She's a very pretty girl. And then the other thing she does as well as anybody I've seen. Now, I'm really partial to Bruce Springsteen when it comes to concerts, but Renee engages an audience as a woman or as a female better than any women that I've seen engage an audience. She's not just about singing. She makes everybody in the audience feel special. She's worked with special needs kids where she's done shows just for special needs.
Nice.
Older audiences, a good demographic mix of Black, white, Asian, Spanish, young, old, across the board. And she makes everybody a part of it. She'll pull people up on stage for certain songs. Like she does a great cover. And most of her songs are originals. She's got 20 originals. But on one of the covers, and I know you know the song well, is Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Oh, my favorite. Yes, that's my favorite. And she also collaborated with Lee Hazelwood, which we still have one of the albums as well, too. That was amazing. Wow.
And she'll pull people up to, if they have boots, they're on stage. She basically, she hones in on who's wearing boots. She pulls those people on stage to do These Boots Are Made for Walking. And the band that she plays with, it's called Renee and the Renegades. They do a little routine with these boots, and it's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's really amazing too. And of course, speaking of children, you also wrote a children's book called Charlie Horse with an anti-bullying theme. And tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, Charlie Horse actually was something that I had come up with from years ago. I was with my dad, just sitting around talking about different things. And one of the things that my dad did for my brothers and myself was he said a couple things, and he was a great man and a great writer himself. He said, make sure you always stick up for the weak, because some of them can't defend themselves or get out there and stick up for themselves. And I always remember that. And I had seen a lot of bullying take place as I grew up. And I had seen special needs kids who they used to implement into the gym classes where I went to junior high, and they got picked on, and I hated it. And I'd hop in and I'd defend them when people would pick on them. Most of the fights I won, some of them I lost, but I never felt like I really lost because I was sticking up for the special needs or the kids that couldn't stick up for themselves. So it kind of inspired Charlie Horse. Charlie Horse is a disabled horse. He injured one of his legs while saving a baby bear from a forest fire. And saving the baby bear from the forest fire, he then goes on to become his friends for life. They'll come back to see each other later on. So the subtitle of the book is Friends for Life. Charlie Horse is the name of the book. It's got 7 horses. Charlie's the leader of the horses. And now we've turned it into an animation. And we are hoping that this animation will see the light of day sometime here in 2022, possibly early 2023.
Oh, that's very nice. And where can we find the book at?
You can get it on Amazon. Yeah, you can, if you have Barnes and Nobles, which I know those are starting to go by the wayside, but any bookstore out there, you can order it, or you can go on the Amazon, you can get Charlie Horse. Now, keep in mind too, Mike, if you would, we're going back and we are re-illustrating the book to look like the characters that you're seeing in the animation. The originals were done, and it wasn't quite what I was looking for, but we got it done. And the young lady that did the job, she got it so that the point that we could publish it. But now, once the animation has been done, we're going back and we're changing the look. The look has to appeal to all ages. And you know this, and I know this, but a lot of your listeners or viewers don't know this. Bugs Bunny was originally drawn, and it was very rough around the edges.
Oh, I remember that. He's like this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, buck teeth going down like this and like a really long nose. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not really something that would last that many years. So what they did, and folks, you can go look this up. The reason, one of the reasons why, is aside from his wise guy persona, but the reason that Bugs is so popular is because they went back and they drew him again with feminine features.
Oh,
so
that's
he's
interesting.
Pretty.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah. That's right. So you'll remember those episodes with, whether it's with Yosemite Sam or with Elmer Fudd, he actually dresses up as a girl. Or even did it with, he went through the tunnel of love with the jungle guy there. Unga bunga bunga.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Was Babs pissed or something or what?
Bugs was ahead of his time. He was the first trans. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Nothing at all too. It's like he can get away with whatever he wanted as well too. And also made me think of another that evolved through time was Mickey Mouse, where it's like Mickey just had a really long nose and monster ears, and then I guess he kind of got slimmed down to where he's at. I guess I don't know who really led. Was it Disney or was it Warner Brothers? Like, I mean, who took the lead in what, or who followed or something? Yes,
It's kind of, well, I think those were both established at about the same time. But when Bugs switched it up and they saw the success and the appeal, then they did it with Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse was like, "Oh boys, hello,
Oh,
Goofy." Hello, I'm Goofy. What's your name, Mick?
I challenge everybody to do better than what I did. So.
Mike, I'm enjoying this. I don't get a chance to work with other impressionists. You're really good at what you do.
Oh, something too. Something, I like to be on your show as well too. Or if you had a podcast, I like to work with you as well too. And of course, we'll talk about you being your show. And speaking of impersonators, you also performed as Bruce Springsteen and John Lennon as well too. Maybe just give us a bit of glimpse about that. I mean, we got to wrap it up somehow. It's like those are my two favorites. Yes, so
we can definitely do that. Now, Springsteen in 1984, 85, Born in the USA comes out. I was at Salem State College my final year. And as you can see, my hair's a little curly, a little wavy. That's from a perm. And back when I got the perms, when I started at the age of 18, people would say, "You look like the boss. You look like the boss." And I never really thought about it too much. But then there was an impersonating company here in Boston. A friend of mine, Jimmy J, he had a Cyndi Lauper, he had a Madonna and a Michael Jackson. And people said, "You got to go to this guy and see if you can impersonate." I said, "Well, I don't really sing." I said, "Well, they're just lip syncing." So I said, "Okay," I did. And I lip sync for a few years as Springsteen, but then I was able to get down his voice. So sometimes the shows were lip sync, sometimes they were live, sometimes it was with tracks, and sometimes it was with a live band. So it was mixed up. But the best part of it is I got some national appearances doing Springsteen. Yeah, I was on like ABC TV doing Springsteen. I was on Fox TV doing Springsteen. I was in Montego Bay, Jamaica, with a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah,
and the guy that he promoted it as if we were the real things, and people down there on the island, they bought us.
Yeah, man, born in the USA.
and you know what, Mike? The funniest part of it all, well, not funny, but it's typical, is that I did the songs. They were more into Michael Jackson. Now I'm okay with that. But one song that Springsteen did was called "Trapped." It was written by Jamaican Jimmy Cliff.
Oh my gosh, I love that song.
It's a great song. And when I did that, the people went nuts. It was like, wow, all that applause that Michael Jackson got throughout his show. That one song, it was like gangbusters. It came on because it was a native Jamaican, Jimmy Cliff, and it was the song that they all knew.
Wow, that was amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh. It just takes me back to the day. We're here with Gary Leavitt, the Wizard of Stars. We have 1,000 voices in the New England area on the Mike Wagner Show. Gary, a big thank you for your time. You're absolutely amazing. A couple of things. What can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond?
Well, hopefully our Charlie Horse TV show is going to be on the air. That's number one. We also have something else out there called City Workers. It's based on Boston City Workers. It's pretty funny. And we've got some people like the Soup Nazi from Seinfeld who has signed on to be a part of this. Nice. We also have Johnny Brennan, one of the Jerky boys, that wants to be a part of it. And then back to Charlie Horse for just a sec. Basketball player by the name of Otis Gilmore, the A-Train.
I remember Artis Gilmore. I was I went to Bulls games and he was the big guy, 7 foot Artis Gilmore. He was like he was like the poor man's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, doing the sky hooks, the blocks, and everything else. I mean, the Bulls were crappy that year, but he was very entertaining. He actually got his autograph. Really nice guy.
Artis Gilmore. He's going to play the part of the A-Train for Charlie Horse. We're going to have a talking train, not Thomas the Talking Train, but the A-Train in this case.
Nice.
And of course, you know, a couple guys wanted to say hi to you before we leave, if that's okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So,
how you doing? It's Al Pacino here. I don't know whether you know this, but Mike, he's a good guy. I want to give him a hoo-wah.
Well, I'll tell you what here, man, it's Jack Nicholson.
Mike Wagner is a marvel of modern science. Any women out there, take him on. He's going to light you up like a pinball machine, and you're going to pay off in silver dollars.
Thank you, Jack. I'll see you at the Lakers game.
You got it, man. You got it.
All right.
Put it in the basket, Chief. Just put it in the basket.
Put it back, baby. Dick Vitale. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in my career is a couple people. My dad, for never giving up on my dream. And as far as the different people that had multiple talents, Dean Martin is right up there. Big time, Dean Martin. I think he's the greatest entertainer of all time. He could sing, he could dance, he could act, both comedic and drama, and he was a good-looking dude. So I got him as number one. So he's probably my number one influence.
And of course, you know, he'll act drunk, although he does have a thing of water too. So
exactly. And rest assured, Mike, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I've never even tried marijuana. A lot of people think I'm crazy just the way I am.
That's a good thing too. It's natural, literally. Yes. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I would say this, whether you're a young kid or whether you're someone that's close to my age, don't give up on that dream. I haven't given up on mine. Every single day I'm going at it. And the best line that I've ever heard was by Sylvester Stallone in the movie Rocky, when he said, "It ain't how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and keep on moving forward." And that's true in all facets of life.
That is very wonderful. Yo, Adrian! And let's go down some eggs as well, too. We're here with Gary Leavitt, the Wizard of Stars on the Mike Wagner Show. Terrific impressionist from the New England area. Gary, thanks for your time. You've been totally fantastic. I really enjoyed having a ball with you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Or can people check out Charlie Horse, check out your TV show, your radio show, and everything you do?
Yeah, sure. Great. Up here in Boston, I'm on 95.9 WATD. By the way, Mike's going to be a guest of mine in a couple of weeks. We got Jerry Mathers, the Beaver, coming on next week, along with Irish Mickey Ward, the boxer. But I think the following week, we're going to have Mike Wagner on with us. And so you can go to 959WATD.com. And you can check us out there if you're in different parts of the country or different parts of the world. In addition to that, charliehorse.org. That's the animation Charlie is CHARLIE horse.org. City workers, we don't have that website up and running yet, but that's okay because Charlie Horse will more than entertain you. And last but not least, you can find ReneeLevitt.com. You can follow her as far as her music endeavors and my son on Twitter. Instagram, that's Randy Leavitt Kicker.
And we will certainly check that out. Once again, Gary, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all best. You got a great future ahead of you. And the words of Bob Eubanks from the dating game. Mwah, bye, everybody.
You're very good at what you do, Michael. Very good.